Hello. I think let's wait for a few of us who have been overtaken by lunch issues.
Oh, the shoe. TV got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. TV Gominogano. I didn't know that we have so many TV stations. I don't give it a radio. I will go to Gao, my overall. Gao, my overall. Maria Magaboda, I take another story out. You're not eating it. Oh, yeah. One of the They should be part of the discussion.
Okay. Is this okay for you guys, or you need it to be lifted? Because maybe you have to move it a little bit out.
No, it's okay. It's okay there.
How is the sound? Does it sound okay for everyone?
Majority.
The majority? Those who are listening, can you tell me if it's okay? Yeah, is the sound okay? Good. Now? Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the media, for coming impromptu. I think that whatever trick we used to get you to come here, we should continue with that, because this is very well attended press do. I just want to be able to report to you that we've had a National Management Committee meeting combined with the Parliamentary Leadership meeting, which is the closest meeting we can have to a NEC. And of course, it was chaired by our National Chairman, Mr. Nzuya, and attended by those you see here who represent our leadership in Parliament, both Senate and the National Assembly. We were discussing various issues. I'm going to tell you what those are, and then I will allow a couple of questions that you may have, and then we can proceed from there. The first thing is that, as you know, we are in we're within months to the next general election, so it is very important that as a party we adhere to the requirements of law, the requirements of the Registrar of Political Party and the Political Parties Act in terms of compliance. So those are issues that we have to review every now and then, and we were looking at those. The next thing, of course, is that we are preparing for our National Delegates Conference, and that is the highest organ of the party, and part of the reason why we decided to have a much more broad-based meeting rather than only the NMC, but also to include our stakeholders from Parliament, is so that they can input in any agenda items that we do have for the National Delegates Conference. And then another thing which of course we discussed about is various caucuses that the party is going to launch, and we'll be giving you information as soon as those very important caucuses are launched. Finally, we want to continue to support the President, and we want to make sure that this country can be assured that the next leadership of this country will not be those that Kenyans may have doubt on. We don't want Kenyans to elect thieves to run this country going forward. Thank you very much. Questions?
Yeah, SG, did you discuss about anything to do with the merger? And are you likely to field presidential candidate?
The question of merger did not come up in this meeting. I think that it has never come up in any of our meetings. The only thing that we have discussed are coalitions. A merger is completely different thing, and that has not been in any of our discussions.
The issue of coalitions, how far are you in the talks you had with the Orange Democratic Movement? And the second question is, there have been calls for you to resign as SG. Are you considering that, and what is keeping you there as Secretary General?
Which one should I answer first? The one on ODM or the one on whichever I find suitable. Now, well, our discussions with the ODM are ongoing. There are discussions which have been done at our level, and there are discussions which are done at the level of the two-party leaders. It is beyond my pay grade to divulge to you anything which has come up at the level of the two-party leaders, and I think you should ask them that question at the earliest opportunity you may have. Now, when it comes to my position as Secretary General, it is very, very important for you to appreciate, and for all Kenyans to appreciate, that this is a political office. I would be a very, very worried person if nobody expressed dissatisfaction with my work. I would be a very, very worried person if nobody was hitting me every other day, because that would mean that the position of Secretary General is not important. So I think I welcome any criticisms. It comes with the territory, and I'm ready to live with it. Yes.
We are now heading to another election in 2022. Does the party intend to hold this grassroots election?
Well, that's one of the things that will be discussed at the NDC, and I'd like to be able to inform you that we really wanted to have the elections in 2020. We were ready, we were prepared. Indeed, we were only delayed by the requirements that were made to us by the Register of Political Parties. This being a very litigious country, if we did it without adhering to the requirements of the Register of Political Parties, then those elections would be declared null and void. And then after that, unfortunately, we went into the COVID period when political activities were basically not allowed to be done in a certain way. So that kind of derailed us. So it's not something that we deliberately avoided. We wanted to go ahead. We had actually announced that the latest it had to be was in March of 2020. But as you know, COVID came knocking in about the same time.
So will the party go to the next election with interim officials in office?
The NDC can discuss. The NDC can decide on that, and it will be presented before the NDC. Yes, boss. I want to go that side after finishing here.
SG, your critics, some of them are standing right behind you. Does it mean then that you have made fences?
Well, you know, as I told you, I would be extremely worried if I didn't have critics. I would be extremely worried if we went into the office upstairs and we didn't have robust debates. That is what democracy is all about. And I can tell you that as we were in the offices upstairs, we did not agree on every subject which was put on the table for discussion and for debate. We debated robustly. We finally agreed on the way forward. And the moment we agree on the way forward is collective responsibility. It is not what the Secretary General thinks or what the leader of majority from Parliament thinks. It is what we think as a party. That's the essence of democracy. I would be extremely depressed if we had a country where people do not disagree. We must disagree. Yes.
I'm from Apple TV. In the NDC understandments, you are likely to make a raft of changes. If at all the members feel that, okay, we are going to serve enough time and they feel like we need changes, will you be at liberty to accept their proposals? And people say that you have been so quiet in the recent days.
The agenda is not out.
Well, first of all, you are assuming an agenda that I didn't even know is coming to the NDC. You seem to know something that I don't know. Maybe you are reading too much from the social media. But I think your question is valid. The NDC is the highest party organ, and whatever the NDC decides prevails. Yeah? The rule is that the NDC we must give a notice of 21 days. Because our party leader has got a very busy schedule, there'll be some comparing of notes with his diary, then we'll announce the date of the NDC. Okay?
And we'll be the ones to announce.
Yes, and yeah, you'll announce. Okay, thank you. Yes. Last question, or second last question. You and then one more person. Yes.
Two questions. Just to follow up from this. Is it now like this month or next month?
You know, I've just said that there's some need for comparison of notes between us and the party leader. So if I start saying that it's this month or next month, I'll be jumping the gun.
Is it possible for you, still maybe to tell us maybe some of the issues that you are likely to discuss at that meeting?
No, don't worry. Don't worry.
Those will be on the notice.
No, don't worry. That's what we're discussing. That's what we're discussing, what is to be the agenda. Actually, we have another meeting on Thursday, and we have some other meeting on Friday, when we'll be discussing what is going to be in the agenda. If I start announcing what is in the agenda here, unless I want to be sacked. Okay, last question. No, you've asked. I want to give him a chance. Yes, sir. Huh? No. You've done?
The lady.
No, the lady has asked.
No.
No, the other one.
This one, yes. All these guys like you. Yeah.
Yes, so in your last press conference, you talked very carefully about and he has publicly endorsed a different party. And we'd love to know if part of your agenda in the NDC is to remove him from the
Well, just as I said, I don't know what is going to be in the agenda until we finally agree as a team on what is going to be the agenda and in consultation with the party leader. So what comes in the agenda is not the work of one or two individuals. It's a whole team here.
But
Good.
is it a concern for you that you have a deputy party leader who's advancing agendas of the political party?
That is in the Constitution. That is actually in the Constitution. I think it should just concern you as much as it should concern
And I'm sure it concerns all the
And I'm
delegates.
sure it concerns you.
But as members, what are you doing about it?
Well, I've addressed this. I've addressed this before. I mean, there's so many wars to be fought, and we have to choose what war you want to fight at what time.
So you're ignoring that one? It's a small war.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming.
The vice wants to say something.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, I'm coming. Oh, veteran.